This is Firoz Shah Tughlaq, the 19th Sultan of Delhi of the Tughlaq dynasty. In the history textbook written by Satish Chandra, he is hailed as a peaceful administrator and a reformer. However, historical sources reveal a contrasting picture of the tyrant and religious bigot that he was. The Futuhat-e-Firoz, written by Firoz Shah Tughlaq himself, shows that he had all the traits of an orthodox Muslim ruler. He considered his duty to ban anything that was un-Islamic. In 1360 CE, Firoz desecrated the Jagannath temple of Puri, massacring thousands, defacing the murti by piercing its nose and kicking and throwing it. Other hidden idols were dug out, vandalized, and kept at mosque doorways so that they can be trampled upon in order to humiliate Hindus. He had persecuted Hindus and converted a large number of Chauhan Rajputs from Hinduism to Islam. However, Satish Chandra, in the textbook written by him, completely whitewashes all these atrocities. It only says Firoz led a campaign to Orissa and desecrated temples there to gather rich plunder but made no attempt to annex Orissa. After desecrating the Jagannath temple, Firoz pursued 1 lakh Hindus to Chilika Lake. He massacred them in a basin of blood, and thousands of victims, including pregnant mothers and kids, were savagely raped and enslaved in the homes of every Muslim soldier. But there is no mention of this episode in Satish Chandra's book. Firoz Shah had also destroyed the Jwalamukhi temple in Himachal Pradesh. He broke the sacred murtis into tiny pieces, mixed them with beef, and put the mixture inside nose bags hung around the necks of Brahmins. The main deity was sent as a trophy to Medina. However, this horrific incident has been trivialized as a campaign to Kangra by Satish Chandra. A huge library housing more than 1,000 manuscripts at the Jwalamukhi temple was razed to the ground. A few were saved to be translated into Persian so that knowledge present in Hindu texts can be exploited. While Islamic accounts clearly acknowledge that he burnt Hindu knowledge treatises, Satish Chandra notes that Firoz Shah Tughlaq translated Hindu texts to better understand Hindu ideas by extrapolating this selfish endeavor. Not just Hindu texts, even the texts of Shia Muslims were burnt by this religious zealot. Satish Chandra also downplayed Firoz's enslavement of 1.8 lakh Hindus, saying that such things happened even during the Mahabharata period. These 1.8 lakh Hindus were forcefully converted, sexually exploited, and treated like animals. In 1380 CE, Firoz slaughtered thousands and enslaved around 23,000 Hindus in Rohilkhand as revenge for 3 Muslim tyrants being killed. He ordered the massacre and destruction of the region every year for 5 years to teach the Hindus of the region a lesson. In the village of Malu, Firoz ordered the wholesale slaughter of thousands of Hindus, including women and children, for daring to build temples and worship deities near a holy kund. But Satish Chandra praises Firoz as a humanitarian ruler for banning mutilation and torture while conveniently ignoring the fact that such benevolence was reserved only for Muslims. On the other hand, Firoz publicly mutilated, tortured, and slaughtered Hindus just for practicing their religion, even in secret. Official Muslim accounts relate how Firoz got an old Brahmin in Delhi dragged out for worshipping a wooden tablet which had Hindu gods carved in it. When he refused to get converted, he was hung with hands and feet tied, roasted on burning embers, and burnt alive in public. Firoz Shah Tughlaq had imposed the jizya tax on Hindus as well, but this has been whitewashed by Satish Chandra as a harmless protection tax. He even peddled that jizya tax was not used to convert Hindus to Islam, but Firoz himself had stated that he used jizya as an economic weapon to forcibly convert Hindus. The textbook even claims conversion to Islam was not by sword. The era of the Delhi Sultanate is glorified as a time of peace and development by Satish Chandra. However, history is testimony to how Hindus were persecuted ruthlessly by the Delhi Sultanates. This is just one example of how the secular historians have distorted history by falsifying historical evidences to whitewash the atrocities that happened in medieval India.